Hello, everyone, and welcome back to Will I Be Right or Will I Be Wrong? I am Streaksetter, and tonight we got some NFL plays for you. On the line with me is Jaw Red and Mike Jones. How you guys doing?
Doing good. How you doing?
I'm good. Thank you. All right, so tonight we're each going to pick a game that we like for this Sunday. And Jaw, why don't you start off with your pick for this weekend?
All right, yeah, it hurts me to say this as a Charger fan, but I'm looking at KC this weekend. I know the line opened up at 5.5 at Pinnacle, and it's moved down to 4.5. It's kind of been going up back and forth throughout the week, but it reminds me of the Chargers at home versus the Broncos. It's going to be probably a trendy underdog pick, and normally you don't find me on the road favorite. But in this case, I really feel like last week at Denver was a game that was so hyped up that after it was over, I think it was a really relief for KC to get over. And I think this game's going to come down to Arrowhead. Right now, no one's really talking about Arrowhead being a huge home field advantage. If you go back about a decade when the Chiefs were a great team, no one won an Arrowhead. I think in about 2 or 3 weeks, you're going to hear ESPN talking a lot about Arrowhead and the home field advantage there, the crowd noise and all that stuff. I think this is going to be one of the games that gets people's eyes, opens their eyes to that. Keenan Allen for the Chargers isn't playing in this game. He's been the Chargers' #1 receiver basically the last 5 games. He's 12th in the NFL this year in receiving yards, so he's proven himself to be a top #1 wide receiver in the league. They're going to have to figure out on the road after going to Miami, back home practicing. Now they're going KC, hardest place to play, basically. Be a 10 o'clock game. It's just a terrible spot for the Chargers. For some reason, people are actually putting their money on the Chargers here. The Chiefs have yet to allow a 100-yard rusher at home. They have yet to allow one rushing TD at home. And, the Chargers' offense has been good this year. I think it's been the best it's been in 5 years. Now that they have an actual option throwing the ball, a Woodhead out of the backfield. But it's not going to get it done against one of the best defenses in the league, especially when you're missing Keenan Allen, your #1 wide receiver. Just too many things. The Chargers haven't won on the road this year. They've won one game. They beat the Eagles. They lost 4 out of 5 on the road. And KC has revenge on the Chargers. Chargers got them twice last year, and KC's has revenge this year. So I think off the loss, it's a question mark. But I can't see these guys how they wouldn't be fired up. I think last week was a big release that it's over. The Denver game was really a huge build-up, a lot of hype. It's over now. I think they're going to come this week and take care of business.
All right, some good stuff there. Mike Jones, what do you think? Will he be right or will he be wrong?
I'm with him 100% again. Going out to Miami, having to come back. Now that they got to go to Arrowhead. The place is an absolute nightmare to play. I just don't see San Diego being able to get the job done on the road. KC, I'm not as high on as some people, but at home, they're always tough. I just don't see San Diego getting it done. So I'm with Jared on this one.
Okay, yeah, for me, when a line opens at 5.5, it's usually a dog line. And this game, I can go either way on this one. I don't know. This is a tough game for me. The one thing that is weird is, KC plays Denver. Now they get to come home. They play a division game, and then next week they play Denver again. I mean, they play Denver almost back to back here. So are they going to be looking to head to Denver a little bit? Maybe, I don't know. But that number 5.5, I feel like KC wins this game, but they only win it by a field goal.
The 5.5 number and 4, and it's always been that way as long as I can remember with these teams, even when the Chargers had a good team, they were
Right.
never favored by more than a touchdown. But
Right.
yeah, I understand that, and the line's going down. So it looks like the smart money is on the dog. I just don't see it this week. And like I said, I'm never on the road favorite. And for some reason, this one just stuck out to me. And you know what? I think a lot of people might be riding on that look ahead too much. And
Right.
I think my whole view for this play was that the anxiety and the buildup of last week is going to override the look ahead to next week. And looking ahead to next week, I really think KC is going to kill Denver, but that's for another day.
Yeah, I agree with you there. I think Denver having to travel to New England and then having to turn around and go to KC. I love KC next weekend. So if you want to look at a look-ahead game, I'm on you with that one. I like KC at home. This one, I don't want to say you're going to be wrong or right here, but that's the show. So I'm going to go ahead and say you're going to be wrong. I think KC is going to win by 3, but I could see them winning by a touchdown or possibly more. So for me, it's just I think that game is I don't know. I just don't like those 5.5 lines. For me, it's usually a dog or nothing. Yeah, so that's kind of where I'm at for that one. But Mike Jones, what are you looking at this weekend?
Well, similar to Jared's last play, as you guys know, my favorite angle is sandwich games. And exactly the team we were just talking about, Denver, they're traveling to New England. And their look-ahead game is KC again, going to Arrowhead, which is a nightmare to play in. So with the Pats losing on Carolina on Monday night, and you guys know I was on Carolina, I love the Pats at home. I love the Patriots at home. They are absolute monsters at home, especially being a Bills fan. I'm well aware of how good they are at home. And head-to-head, these two teams, every time they've played, the Broncos are 1-4 against the spread in the last 5 meetings. The home team is 4-1 against the spread in the last 5 meetings, and the favorite is 4-1 against the spread in the last 5 meetings. So I think I'm going to take Tom Brady at home, even though they don't really match up that well with Denver as far as their secondary covering their wide receivers. But
Yeah, a lot of injuries on that D. The D is banged up for New England.
But New England gets the job done at home. Denver, look-ahead game. They don't play as good. New England's going to win this game outright.
So what do you think, Ja Red? Is he right or is he wrong?
I have to agree with them overall. There's a few things I don't like about the game and a few things I do. What I don't like about it is that basically I think Denver's a better team.
Okay.
I don't think Tom Brady's been accurate this season, and I don't think he was accurate last week. I keep thinking he's going to get accurate, and it just doesn't happen. But, however, the Denver they can definitely afford to lose a game here. They will be looking forward to next week. Division games are much more important at this
Right.
point of the year, especially when KC has played very little division games, and they're tied with KC. Their entire season comes down to next week. It's impossible for anyone to convince me they're not looking ahead. Tom Brady someone could argue that Tom Brady is impossible to look past, but it's not a division game. They can afford to lose, and they're traveling, and I wouldn't be surprised if they were playing, their third-string running backs in the game and whatnot. The other thing is that Patriots got screwed on Monday night.
Right.
I think they got screwed. I think they're going to be pissed, and they're off a loss. And the Patriots off a loss are extremely good. I think they've shown that over the last 10 years. Not even, you can go back 10 years. And I wouldn't bet against that. The line's about right where it's at. I think Denver's slightly better. So I agree with the odds makers there. And I'd lean towards the Patriots. I agree with Mike Jones.
Yeah, I agree with everything both you guys said. I do think Denver overall is a little better. I mean, this is probably a preview to the AFC Championship game, in my opinion. I think that both these teams have the best shot to get to that game. This is an old hat for these guys. They've met 14 times. So it's not like there's anything new here. They know each other. And New England coming off a loss at home, I mean, they just don't lose. They find a way to win. So I think with a line that short, you take the home team at night. I think it's a New England play here or nothing. And kind of the sad thing about this game is, well, Wes Welker might miss it with that concussion that he got last week. So hopefully he'll be clear.
He may retire. That's
yeah.
I hope he can play, but yeah, who knows?
Yeah, who knows? So that kind of sucks that that storyline might not be there. But yeah, I think at the end of the day, I think you got to go New England on this game. So for me, the game I'm looking at here is the Colts. They travel to Arizona, and they're getting 2.5 right now, which I think is a total overreaction to the way that Arizona's been playing of late. The last 3 games they played, they've won, but they played Houston, Atlanta, and Jacksonville, and those teams have a combined winning. They've won 5 games combined. So now they're 2.5-point favorites over Indy. Yeah, I know they're at home, but usually a home team, we say you give 3 points. So if anything, this game's a pick 'em. I don't see how they're favored at all. I like Indy. I'll take the better quarterback, the better offense, and probably a better defense. What do you guys think?
I'll go first. This game basically was a pick 'em when it opened.
Right.
I saw it at Penny open, and it was juiced to the favorite, and Arizona was a 1-point favorite at the time. I agree with you. Looking back at their last 3 games, they're comical.
Yeah.
I don't give them. They took care of business. How about that? I don't give them.
They did. You can't pick who's on your schedule, and they beat who there was on their schedule. But
yeah,
I mean,
so you can't. It's hard to slight them. They went on the road in Jacksonville. They beat the Jacksonville team off a win, and before that they won 2 home games against teams they should have won.
Right.
The only thing that has me thinking a little bit too much or not enough is if you go back to early October, they beat the out of Carolina, 22-6.
right.
So if you look at that game, that would scare me. However, what I like about Colts is they're off 10 days. They have 10 days of rest, and they started really bad in that game. And they played, as everyone knows, they played a terrible game the game before that against St. Louis, but they got annihilated
Right.
by over 30 points or 29 points. So I expect the Colts to be ready for this one. When I look at Andrew Luck and I look at Carson Palmer, I'll take Andrew Luck there. I think Carson Palmer's recent success, his quarterback rating is a little bit inflated because of his last 3 games. I agree with you. I think the Colts are the right player.
All right, Mike Jones, what do you think? Will I be right or will I be wrong?
It's a tough one for me. I go back and forth. As much as I see your angle, and I like it, and I'm with you on it, my gut's telling me that something's wrong with Indy, and Arizona will be tough at home, and they might just be able, like they always do, pull out that top 30 win at home. For whatever reason, they're a different team at home, and the game may not be pretty, and they may not do what normal teams do on offense, but they get the job done. And the teams they beat, like you said, they weren't very good, but they got the job done, did what they were supposed to, and they got out. I don't think last week was that big of a deal for them. They played Jacksonville. They should be more than ready for Indy at home. And I just really think Indy, for whatever reason, I don't know if it's losing Reggie Wayne or what, but you just don't play the type of games they played and lose at home to teams like St. Louis if something's not wrong. And I just don't think Indy's right. So I'm going to listen to my gut on this one, and I'm probably going to go against you and take Arizona.
All right. Well, all good points there. So tonight I liked Indy. Mike Jones liked New England, and Jaw Red likes KC. That's pretty much going to do it for us here at PointSpreadPlays.com. Remember, you can see all of our plays at PointSpreadPlays.com, and do your own research, and good luck this Sunday.